Hello, Malcolm here with a review of my first attempt to use Facebook Live. I've never done it before, but this last Sunday I thought, let's give it a go. So I set it up for the Watford Church of Christ in the morning and the Thames Valley Church of Christ in the afternoon. And I'd love, if possible, I'm just going to share a few things I learned, but I'm doing this in the hopes that somebody out there will help me to do a better job next time. I'm going to do the same thing for the Easter services coming up next Sunday. So please, if you've got some tips for me, let me know what would make it better. But here are a few of the things I learned. Firstly, in the Watford service in the morning, I forgot that it was on, just not having done it very often. Well, never done it before. Suddenly realized 30 seconds or a minute after the service had finished that I hadn't turned it off. So that was the first thing. I need to remind myself, go and turn the thing off. The second thing was that the quality of the video was not particularly good. Given I'm using my iPhone, and it's the latest version, and it's got great video options on it, I was surprised at how grainy the picture was. And I looked at it; it's 360p. So I'm guessing it's because I was using mobile data from the phone for the Facebook Live. I couldn't connect to the venue's Wi-Fi. So perhaps that was the reason. But if you've got other tips, I'd like to know. The second thing was, or the third thing was, that there was quite a lot of background hiss, and we couldn't hear the speakers further away particularly well and those who spoke quietly. And I think that's because I was using this excellent Sennheiser microphone, which works fantastically well, but works really well when it's clipped on as it's designed. And I had it clipped onto the phone, onto the frame, on this clamp onto the onto the tripod, and this was just simply too far away, and of course it's not really designed for this kind of recording. So I think that's the issue there. Then in Thames Valley in the afternoon, a couple of other things I learned. Firstly, get set up before the sermon begins. I was only live streaming the sermon, and poor old Mika was ready to go, and I hadn't got the clamp sorted out and the microphone sorted out, and I hadn't started up the app, and that didn't help. And bless him, Miko paused and waited for me to be ready. So that was a little bit awkward, and of course disrupted the sermon and the flow. So that was a bit of a shame. So I need to make sure I'm set up better with that. The sound was better in Thames Valley than in Watford, and that's partly because I positioned myself closer to the speaker, but also because we had a PA in Thames Valley, and that projected the sound out, and which meant that even this microphone picked it up really quite well and clearly. I'm going to post links to the Watford example and the Thames Valley example in the show notes, so you can have a listen and look at those. But you can also look on the Facebook pages of the Thames Valley Churches of Christ and the Watford Church of Christ if you want to have a look. So that's what happened with the sound. Rather nice thing that happened also was that during the sermon, someone messaged on the Facebook Live session to say that they were watching in Hong Kong. And I thought that's what it's about. So that really encouraged me. The first day I've ever used Facebook Live, there's someone in Hong Kong watching, commenting, saying they were very grateful for it. And also somebody else was watching it in another room in the venue where we had church that day. They were a young parent looking after a young child, and they were able to watch the sermon whilst they were taking care of their young child in this separate room in the venue, which again was brilliant. And they could always catch up another time and listen to it, but I think there's something special about being able to watch it live, even if you're in the next room. So that was rather good. So basic lessons. Basic lessons are, I need a better microphone. That's the first thing. So I have bought another microphone, realizing that's not going to work. I did a bit of research and came up with this microphone to use, which plugs into the iPhone very nicely and angles like that, so I can set it up in its clamp on the tripod. Hopefully that will work really well. This is the Shure MV88, if you want to know. I haven't tried it on Facebook Live yet. I've done a few tests in the house here, but we'll see how it goes on Sunday. But I think that'll be a much better sound system as it points towards the speakers and is designed more for this kind of thing. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also in the Thames Valley, poor Miko is the other way up, because I started the Facebook Live session in this mode and then moved my phone to this mode. which is much better, I think, without knowing, and at least as I understand it, once you've done that, it won't switch. It'll stay in this mode. So poor old Miko is through 90 degrees on Facebook. But so next time I'll start it like this. If you know of a way to change it if you want to during a live session, I'd be grateful to know that, but I don't think there is. What else? Well, because the mobile data wasn't really adequate in Watford, I need to find out whether I can access the venue's Wi-Fi. So I'll look into that this week as well. And then finally, just set it all up well in advance so that I just need to press a button rather than fiddle with it and delay parts of the service. Those are some of my takeaways, some of my lessons from my first session of first attempt to use Facebook Live. So I would love to know what your lessons are, things you've learned from doing it, things that are effective. I've only dealt with the practical things in terms of promoting it, and I don't know about that yet. I wanted to get the technical stuff down first. But if you've got advice about promoting a Facebook Live session or the practicals of it, I'd very much appreciate it, because all we want to do when we're doing things like this is provide an opportunity for the largest number of people across the widest possible area access this material if they want it. And that's our goal. So thanks a lot for watching and listening to this, and I pray that you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon.